Falcon kick! Falcon kick!
Wow! What's up, guys? Now, spooky season is approaching. It's the month of October, Spooktober as I like to call it, and things are just getting a little bit creepy, and that's why I've decided to host this special spoopy episode of Jude's Art Gallery.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
I have a canvas. It's a bit of a long canvas. It's quite lengthy, much like me. That's right, guys, I actually need glasses now to be able to tell if I'm in focus or not. So I've moved into a student house with a load of other students and my best friend Miles. I'm not technically a uni student anymore because I'm on what's known as a leave of absence, but I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to rejuvenate Jude's Art Gallery because I've got this big blank canvas of a wall behind me, and we're hopefully going to make some things to put up on this wall. Considering Halloween's not that far away, I know it's not yet, I thought maybe I'd do a little spooky themed painting. So here's my idea. My favourite ghost type Pokemon is probably Phantump. I'll put a picture of it on screen here so you can see what it looks like. My idea is I'm going to have a Phantump in the middle, and he's going to be holding like a little lantern, and then the glow of that lantern's gonna like spread out across the page behind him, and then that glow's eventually gonna fade out, and then I'm just gonna do like a load of sort of weird pop-arty little ghost designs around the edge. It sounds quite ambitious and it's probably well above my skill range, but we're gonna give it a go anyway. So what I'm gonna do first is I've got my trusty pencil here and I'm just gonna draw out the design, and so I'll just do that now and I'll meet you back in a second once I've drawn it. Transition to when I've drawn it. Okay, I've done it. You probably can't see it at all there, but just trust me, there's some designs on there. But now it's time to start painting. I think I'm going to get some yellows and some oranges, and I'm just going to do the glow of the lantern first, and then I'll paint in Phantump, and then I'll do the stuff around it. So anyway, Halloween to me has always been a bit overrated. I know loads of people really like it. I think particularly in the US, people go a bit mad about Halloween. I just never really enjoyed it, it wasn't my thing. I was always more of a Christmas person, you know. I do kind of like horror movies though, particularly like really bad ones. Me and my friends used to do horror movie nights where we'd get together and watch like the worst horror movies you've ever seen. One that really sticks vividly in my memory is one called The Nun. It's not the one that you're thinking of, it's not the one from the Conjuring universe. We thought we were watching the one from the Conjuring universe. As it turns out, we were just watching a really, really terrible one. And there's a particular scene that really sticks out in my mind as probably my favourite horror movie scene ever. And it's where the main protagonist of the film is on a plane trying to get away from this spooky nun ghost that is haunting her. So she boards the plane, and as she's falling asleep on the plane, all of a sudden a little bit of turbulence happens, and she just wakes up suddenly, and she looks out the window, and rain is pouring down. But there's nothing outside the window necessarily, it's just rain. So she decides to nod off again, but then another bit of turbulence, she wakes up again, looks out the window, this ghost of a nun is hanging onto the wing of a plane. Like, you would think a ghost could fly, but it's just clawing onto the wing of this normal passenger plane, just flying through the rain, going for a nice joyride. And I think that's probably the reason it's my favourite scene. I just really like it. So yeah, put down in the comments below, what's your favourite horror movie, particularly like bad horror movies. Another thing which I never quite got into as a child was trick-or-treating. I did go trick-or-treating a lot with my friends. I'm trying to remember what I dressed up as. I think one year I went as like some sort of devil. One year I'm pretty sure I dressed up as just like a cat, like a house cat. I definitely went as a skeleton a couple of times. I had these like glow-in-the-dark skeleton pajamas that I used to wear out in the town, and everyone was pretty impressed by that. If you had glow-in-the-dark pajamas as a kid, it was really something that got talked about. I went as the Joker one year. That was probably my best costume. I like hairsprayed my hair green, and I had like a big afro at the time. So speaking of the Joker, actually, me and my friends made the Joker out of cake recently on my friend's channel, The Big Berthas. It's quite a chaotic video is what I would say. Yeah, I think I was just always too nervous to knock on people's doors really when it came to trick-or-treating. I'm pretty sure I know what literally everybody's going to be going as this year. Pretty much everyone's just going to dress up as the characters from Squid Game. If you haven't seen Squid Game, by the way, like every single other person on the planet, I do recommend it highly. It was very good. Right, I think for this part, I'm probably going to try and use the sponge. Okay, it's not going too bad so far. I did colour over some bits that I didn't mean to colour over. Now what I'm going to try and do is put a bit of black in, which is a bit risky actually, but... Okay, so how would you say that is looking? Yeah, that's not too bad. Okay, now is the bit that I'm a bit concerned about, and it's time to start actually trying to paint Phantump. So I'm trying to think what other stories I remember about Halloween. There was one time where I got invited to this kind of Halloween party type thing. I think this is the only like proper Halloween party that I've ever been to. I think I was about like 10 or 11 at the time. And I remember my friend's parents set up this kind of haunted house spooky room experience where we would each take it in turns, and they would put a blindfold on us and they would just bring us into their living room. And then the idea was that we were going to be participating in a load of sort of little fun challenges, one of which was like apple bobbing. I think one was like hook a duck or something. It was just supposed to be a bit of fun. And so I got a blindfold put on me, and then I got taken into the living room, and one of my friend's parents was sort of role playing as this like creepy house owner, sort of the owner of this haunted mansion. And they said in like a spooky voice, "Ooh, are you ready to play the haunted mansion game?" And I believe what happened is I just got really scared and I just said no immediately, and they just took me out and gave me a chocolate. Which is a good strategy, to be fair, for any sort of horror game or movie. If you ever find yourself in like a horror movie situation in real life, just say no immediately and just back out. To be honest, more than anything, I've just always really hated being in a room with someone else role-playing alongside you. I absolutely cannot handle that in any sort of situation. It's the reason that I've never wanted to do like escape rooms or haunted dungeon tours, because I wouldn't be scared of the actual thing that you're supposed to be scared of. I would just be nervous that there are people acting around me. Speaking of escape rooms, I actually did one recently with my new housemates. The idea is we were supposed to be getting out of a house before it burnt down or something, and then it got to about a minute to go, and we only had 3 out of 4 words that we needed for a password. And so my friend Miles just guessed it randomly and we escaped. It was way better than my previous escape room experience, which was with my family, and that experience started with us all handcuffed to the wall. But anyway, yeah, I try and avoid those kind of situations as much as I can. I've thought of another really good Halloween series actually that I think everyone should definitely watch. It's called Over the Garden Wall. It's like this kind of surreal story about 2 kids that get lost in the woods. It's really good though. I definitely recommend that. Right, I think I'm just going to power through the rest of this Phantump, and then hopefully we'll be on to the final stage. Okay, so I've done most of it. I'm thinking now is the point to start putting the black lines in. Whether this will ruin the entire thing or not is really only guesswork. But yeah, I'm gonna try and put those lines in now. I miss the shady old days there, walking with you by my side. Just send me 1 peach from Georgia, just so and there we go everyone, it's done. It's actually not turned out too bad. Okay, so now I've got to find a position on the massive wall up here. And that's it, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Let's go.